Hello, welcome to the Juniper Veil. Today I'm going to be using the Endless Tarot, and we're going to do a reading for the United States in August of 2026. So let's see what's coming for us. Again, this is the Endless Tarot by Eric Mail. I highly recommend it. I think it's a great deck. You can do panoramas, you can do a bunch of things. Ooh. And I really like the illustrations. All right, so the United States for August 2026. I don't do reversals with this deck. Maybe one day I will, but I like to kind of look at them as panoramas. So I like to see the imagery upright. I think I'm going to do 4 weeks, maybe 5 cards per week to get a general idea what will be happening each week. First week will be starting tomorrow, August 1st. Today is Friday, July 31st. It is 1:20 p.m. and I am recording this now. So tomorrow is Saturday, August 1st. So Saturday will be the beginning of each week when I do this. First 8, 15, and then 22, and technically there is a 29 after that. But I'll just group in the last few days with the 4th week. Okay. All right, so let's see what is in store for the United States for August 2026. This could be political things. This could be big events, changes. Let us know what we need to know, Spirit. All right, so first week, starting August 1st, we have the Fool card, the Hermit, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. And then I'll do the second week below. So starting the 8th, 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords, the Tower card, and the 5 of Pentacles. So this is the first 2 weeks. We have the Fool card first, which is like a whole new journey. It's a whole new month. Anything can really happen. I feel like in a lot of ways, when I see a lot of new readings or I see a lot of other readers in astrologers, it feels like there's something new coming up in August. And I think that's true. We have 2 eclipses. I think big things are happening politically right now as per usual, but I feel like there's a lot of change in support for the current administration, and I feel like that's going to continue in August. So we have the Fool card, start of a new journey. We have the Hermit. The Hermit is also somebody who is looking for something new, right? He's here on this bridge. He has a light, right? He's holding a lantern. He's looking for something, finding a new path, searching for something. You could also think of it as being a very soul searching card, right? The Nine of Cups, you have this little fishy or this cat with all these fish. The cat has caught the fish, pretty happy, right? I believe the Nine of Cups in traditional Rider Waite, you kind of have that merchant, right? So that's kind of like it's a good cup. I mean, a good card. Nines are approaching a completion stage. The cups talk about relationships, social relationships, and intuition a lot. So I think there is this feeling of something coming close to fruition, possibly people almost feeling more confident in what is changing, what is happening. Then we have the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is very interesting, right? We see there's this cat in the foreground, and the cat is watching this. It looks like an angry mob on the bridge, right? We have 2 bridges here, right? There's a lot of water right here in these cards. That has a lot to do with emotions. These people are standing up for something, taking over something. I think it's very interesting to have those two nines here. The wands are about that excitement, creativity. Um, if you feel like you need to be spurred on to create change, wands are a great card for that. So it seems like to me, intuitively and emotionally, people are feeling better and they're feeling more. What's the word I'm looking for? They feel like they have more power, I guess, and they're willing to show that power. So I think that's very interesting to see what goes on during that week, because then we get the Queen of Wands, right? Queens have the are wise and they're not intimidated. So this could be a female leader, perhaps, who is kind of like, I don't know if I want to say in charge or helping to support. I feel like this is the general public, the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Wands. I feel like it's a general public feeling as though there's a change coming and they can make that change. And this comes after a period of that hermit of looking into things and that being ready to go on a new journey. We're going over troubled water, right? We've got two bridges here going over troubled water. And we have this Queen of Wands figure, could be a person or it could be an overall feeling of feeling powerful, not being intimidated, and being wise about your choices. So I think that that's a very interesting first week. It seems to me like something very good happens or something big happens. This is, I believe this is the time that we would have to find out what's up with McConnell. I think this is the week that that happens because of the date. I cannot remember if it's August 8th or August 3rd. I always forget, but about, would he need to be replaced? Is he still here? Is he not here? Is he not well enough to be, to continue with his position? That all has to kind of come to fruition this first week. So the following week, the start of the 8th here, we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Tower, and the Five of Pentacles. So this seems to be a bit more of a difficult week. Who is it difficult for is the question. We have the Seven of Pentacles. I'm thinking the 8 is crazy. So the Seven of Pentacles is like you're waiting for your harvest. You've done the work that you need to do, and now you're waiting for it to come to fruition, right? We have this tree here. It's a young tree. It's growing. It's got the pentacles around it. There's a bit of a waiting period here, waiting for your ship to come in, almost like, but you did the hard work. So I think a lot of this here, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Wands, kind of goes directly into that Seven of Pentacles. Did somebody or groups of people did the hard work, they've planted the seeds, and now they're waiting for that to come to fruition. In the meantime, we have this Ace of Swords. I mean, aces are new beginnings, swords are difficult times. This is, to me, because the Two of Swords comes after this, and then the Tower, it's almost like somebody is having a very difficult time. So it could be a person, it could be a group of people. So there, it seems to me like a new, difficult beginning. Choices have to be made, but it's not clear, right? The Two of Swords, you're looking at kind of like choices. Here is a person going into this path. They're going into this path. You have this statue here of this person, and she is blindfolded. Either choices have to be made and the path isn't clear, or the person making the choice just, they're not seeing the correct choice. Something along those lines, where it could have to do with McConnell. It could have to do with the current administration. Something comes out. There's a new bit of news. choices have to be made, but there's really no good choice to make, and that's why we have the Tower. The Tower is destruction of something, foundations, things that have been typically around for a long time. The Tower helps to bring in the change, right? You're having this mass destruction right here with the Tower. Forest animals are fleeing, right? Um, this could also have to do with wildfires in the United States, which is so hopefully I feel like it has more to do with the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords, but that, I mean, even if this isn't a government thing, there could be bad weather, so many forest fires, people, there's no good way to go about it, right? So this could be a political thing, could be a weather thing, because then we have the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles to me is the card of charity. So we have um, usually it's people are looking for charity, or people are moving away from charity, moving away from something that they do need assistance with. This could have to do with people, a natural disaster, and people needing that charity. So this is interesting. I'm not sure. It could be a mix of different things, right? There could be something crazy going on with the administration having to do with whatever happened the previous week, but it could also be showing us what's going on physically in the US because of the forest fires. So that's interesting. I'm very curious about what happens in the second week of April. And then we could go back and see what happened, which I need to do more of because I don't do that enough. So the third week of August, starting on the 15th for us, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Magician. So this, to me, since we have a queen and a king, it's very easy for me to turn more political because of those cards. Or it could just be maybe not political, but it's like a leadership thing. So they might be two people that specifically stand out. Queen of Pentacles can sometimes, if you're looking at this specifically in a political view, that could be Melania. Or this could be a woman who is a very successful businesswoman, I would say, or good at handling some type of planning, finance, something along those lines. So let's see how the rest of the cards kind of go in here. Because we did have this Five of Pentacles the previous week. Could this be a charitable company, or kind of like a FEMA, even though we don't have a FEMA? Could be. Ten of Cups is a happy families card. It's a completion. We're looking at good social relationships. It's a very happy card, right? We have the family, we have the rainbow. They're going towards the village. So there is some good news here. I would say it almost feels like what's the word I'm looking for? A like better relationships. There's like a better communication, either between two people or groups, possibly the United States with another country. That's very interesting as well, because then when we get the Knight of Pentacles, this Knight of Pentacles, right, he's not fast. He's standing here and he's holding a pentacle. He is taking care of that pentacle. Knights they are like messengers. They have plans. They know how to do it. But this one is a bit slower, right? He's not jumping into battle. So does that stand for a person or a group? Let's see. The King of Wands. King of Wands is a king who masculine, enthusiastic, lots of creativity. Could be somebody who is within government that wants to run for president, maybe for the Democrats. They're moving away from the castle. They're moving this way. I don't see this as somebody being within the current administration, even though they're moving away from the castle because of the wand's energy and the king. Like, I feel like that's, although it could be something like, say, for example, I don't consider Hegseth a king, but I could see him associated with wand's energy. Could he be leaving his station? Possibly. And then we have the magician, and the magician has all the tools. So this magician, they could be creating something to fool people. They could be somebody who's very talented and is able to get things working and going ahead because of the fact that they have all the tools. So this week is not as clear to me. This third week, there seems to be a lot of things going on. I don't know if I want to say behind closed doors. Could have to do with the Queen of Pentacles, the charity here. Helping people to overcome possible wildfires, making sure that families are healthy and happy. Knight of Pentacles has kind of a mission, but it's a slow mission. And the King of Wands is making himself known. But who is that king? And it doesn't have to be a man. It could be a woman, the same as the queen could be a man. But there's this idea of the magician. So I need the fourth week in order to compare it to these cards to see if they kind of run together, right? Not much water in these cards, a little bit near the magician, but that's about it. The pentacle, the knight is moving away. The queen is looking down, contemplating. The king of wands is moving, but seems to have a lot of support behind him. So that's interesting. So for the fourth week, and I'll include the last few days of the week or the months as well. This starts on the 22nd. So the 22nd to the 31st, let's say. We have the King of Swords. Lots of kings and queens. Page of Wands. Six of Swords. The Devil card. And the Six of Wands. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people in the news with a lot of opinions. Or they're going to be helping or they're going to be hurting. We have that Queen of Pentacles. We have that King of Wands. And then we have the King of Swords. King of Swords could also be Hegseth in a way. I think of swords as a difficult situation. What's interesting about this King of Swords here, I think he's part owl. If you look at the card, right? So that's very interesting to me. I have to look up more about the owls are wise, right? Because a King of Swords can be very shrewd, very smart. So that to me is not Hegseth. He's not shrewd. Who would that be? I had to think about that. Page of Wands. Pages are the younger court card, youngest court card, I should say. They're a bit naive, but they're very hopeful about the future. This one is with the wands. He's very creative. He or she wants to learn a lot. They want to get going. They want to create new things. Six of Swords is like traveling over troubled water. You make it over to where you need to be after a bit of a battle, bit of hard times or very busy times. But you made it. But now you're kind of, there's a stillness, you're reflecting, there's a calmness. The Devil card, the devil, talks about addiction, talks about feeling like you are chained to something that you cannot overcome, but you can. But you have to be in the right place, right? This person with the Six of Swords, they made it through some difficult times. They may be overcoming something that they need to overcome, or somebody else is, because then when we have the Six of Wands, the Six of Wands in this deck is kind of hard for me sometimes to think about it. You know, they're set up the wands as if there's going to be like a parade or it's after a parade. Usually the Five of Wands is, you know, a lot of energy, lots going on. There could be a battle as well. The Six of Wands is kind of a bit more like a victory, because it seems like a victory parade, right? With everything that's set up. So something is overcome. The devil is overcome. It feels like this has to do with the King of Swords, somebody very smart. And then also somebody younger who has a lot of enthusiasm. Who are these people? Could also be groups of people. These could be younger Democratic Socialists, for example, because they are a younger group. King of Swords could be an older group, very wise. If something like, say, for example, Hegseth is like the King of Wands in a way, being sent out, he's leaving. It looks more like he made that choice and other people are leaving. That to me would say something like the administration is leaving. That idea of this kind of weird masculinity thing Hegseth has going on with the military, trying to leave that behind. Somebody behind closed doors is helping to make this change. And then we get a different type of leader. And this could just be leaders from the military, kind of setting things straight in a way, but working with someone younger and overcoming something very difficult that we kind of deal with at the end of August. And there's a small victory, because this isn't like a major arcana card. It's not a court card either, but there's a victory of some type here. So something has changed. Yeah. There's a change coming, especially I think this third week is kind of like near the I think it's near the first eclipse. I gotta look that up again. But there is some type of change coming. Does it have to do with the administration, the policy, a political change in the country? It could be. It just looks like there's people walking away. There's people being contemplative. There's something going on in the background. The King of Swords is giving some sort of announcement or talk. He also has a butterfly right there on his hand. He's wise, but he's also gentle with that butterfly. That's a good leader, I would say. He's coming out. And he's backed by the younger generation. And they overcome something. They overcome some type of dependency. And it could be something the United States right now that we have a dependency on, and we're going to kind of overcome that. So I think that's a pretty good small win, at least for the end of August. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I have to track August a lot better and see than I have in the past to see what happens each week. Hopefully I'll find time to really just go over these cards again, possibly each week, to see what's happened and how they relate. It's hard because not everything is out in the open, right? So things happen behind closed doors that we don't always know about. So yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think these cards are saying. What do you think is going to happen in August, especially with the eclipse coming in? If you would like me to read on anything specific, please leave a comment. I do political, tarot, world events. I like to look at missing people, mysteries. I'm practicing on the sports tarot to see how to pull cards for that. So if there's anything you need me to look into on that, please do. And yeah, I'll be doing an eclipse reading as well. So have a great day. Thank you.